Today is my big day. Well, a recreation of my big day. I am super excited to say I do all over again when it comes to recreating my makeup look that I wore on my wedding day. I wish I could take the credit for this. However, my really good friend, she's like one of the most talented makeup artists in the industry, she actually did my makeup on my big day, and I seriously still get tons of requests and emails from people asking me about it and the products that she used. So I thought it could be really fun to convince her to come on by my channel and to recreate my wedding makeup. She is so incredible with what she does and just the art of makeup. Oh my gosh.
All right.
This is taking me back.
So I'm gonna start by prepping the skin. So I just prepped the skin with a little bit of rose water. So I'm just gonna get you to close your eyes. So now I'm just gonna use a little bit of moisturizer. You definitely wanna moisturize the skin. It acts as a great base for the foundation. So now I'm gonna start with the brows. So I always start with the eyes first and then the base.
I don't do that. Should I probably, maybe I should start doing that.
We're gonna be doing a little bit more of like a smoky eye. So if you get the fallout, you just wipe it away. You have like amazing brows. I'm gonna fill in a little bit with the Anastasia brow palette. I'm using the soft brown. So I'm just filling in the bottom and a little bit in the top. You don't want to fill them in too much,
because then it looks harsh.
Yeah, it looks too harsh. And your brows are perfect.
I tweezed them before you came.
Now, what I'm going to use, this is by Graftovian. Oops.
What is this called? Is this a Canadian brand or something? She's
No.
from Canada, y'all.
You can get this again at Namie's. And this is what I use to highlight.
Oh, I thought it was concealer.
It is concealer.
Oh, but you use it to highlight.
But I use it to highlight under the brows. So this is what gives you that very crisp look. You'll see.
And she's mixing a bunch of different colors together, so.
I'm just mixing, yeah, two of the colors. So I'll just get it close. So you just want to line right under the brow. A lot of layers, but that is the trick for keeping the makeup on all day. Now, this MAC lid primer.
I think I have that.
Do you?
Yeah, it lasts like 2 years, right?
Yeah, yeah, literally lasts forever. So I just put a little bit right on the lid.
Okay, so you don't want to go up too high?
No, you basically just need this on the lid. You don't need to, you know, line this under the brow bone.
Blending is key. Like on my wedding day, I just
Yes.
remember you using all of these different kinds of brushes and blending it all in. And, you know, what do you think about, like, in terms of just the brushes that you use, how important is that?
Oh my gosh, brushes are like key. I could not create a really nice smoky eye without a great set of brushes. I use a lot of MAC brushes, some from Sephora. I'm gonna use the Guerlain foundation. It's by Guerlain, and it's like a full coverage foundation, and it's long lasting. You do not have to use like, you know, touch-ups with this one. So I'm just applying the foundation over top of the primer with the Beauty Blender.
Now, do you wet your Beauty Blender,
Yes.
like damp it before?
Yeah, you have to wet it. Now, this I'm gonna set. This is the La Mer powder in number 5.
Okay. Oh, this is a setting powder?
Yeah, it's just a translucent setting powder. It doesn't really have color to it. It's just a great, I'm gonna be setting under the eyes with this as well. Just brightens the skin. And I'm just using a Smashbox. The number has rubbed off, but it's a crease brush. This is a great blending brush to blend all the eyeshadow colors together. Now I'm gonna start, this is by Buxom. It's actually a bronzer, but I like to use this as a crease color, as a base. It's called Tahiti.
We should go there after this.
So I'll just keep it closed, and you just want to blend this right into the crease.
And I notice when you're blending, you're going inwards towards the eyelid. You're
right. And I'm just creating a little bit of a crease. So this is the color you want to see when you open the eyes and you see it, you know, a little bit above the lashes.
Makes my eyes look bigger, yay. Quit trying to crash our party.
Now I'm just using another bronzy color. And I'm just basically going over top of what I just did.
Directly on top of it?
Pretty much. I'm just not going quite as high. It's a little bit darker, as you can see. It's still quite bronzy and light, but it's just a little bit darker, and it'll start, it's great to like cut the crease. I like using like browns and like taupes. You can add a little bit of a black, but if you just do grays and blacks, it can be a little too harsh and it's not quite as soft. So that's what I do for a lot of my brides. If they want a smoky eye, you know, using the bronze colors, because you still get that effect, but it's not so harsh.
It's more subtle, I think.
I'm just adding deeper colors. And now with the darker colors, you want to make sure you keep it more like on the outer corner.
That's a great tip.
And you want to keep the lid lighter. You'll see I'm going to add like a shimmer to the lid. So it's going to darken up a little bit, but you don't want to have the lid too dark. Now we're going to use that Charlotte Tilbury, the shimmer.
That's the one I have.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I like when I'm applying the shimmer, I just use my finger. So I'll just get it close and I just dab.
You just get better coverage that way.
Yeah, it actually picks up. Like when you use a brush, it's not quite as intense.
It sticks to the brush.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're kind of keeping it
Mainly
in that
just
central area.
Yeah. I also, which I'm gonna use again, like over top of this, it's by Stila, and they have great shimmers, and it's kind of like it's kind of tacky, so it actually holds, and you don't have to worry about the shimmer. Like obviously you can see
it's like a
some
glue.
fallout. Yeah. And at first, what I tell a lot of my clients, especially with a smoky eye, it's gonna look a little crazy at first. Just keep going. Put on the lashes, finish the look, and then it comes together.
Right.
So now what I'm gonna do, instead of using black eyeliner, I'm using a dark brown. It's by MAC. It's called Teddy. As you can see, it's
Love that.
one of my favorites.
Clearly. There you go.
I need to get a new one. So with the black liner, I'm gonna just add it in the waterline. But with Teddy,
oh, that's what you
I
did.
put it on the lid. So again, of course, surprise, surprise, I layered.
There you go. So was there a reason why you decided to go with brown on the top and black on the bottom?
Because again, it can be really harsh. If you use black, it can be
just too much.
It's just too much. So I'm going over top, blending the eyeliner with this little blending brush.
Okay.
I don't know what
it's like
brand.
a pointy.
It's just like
I mean, you can get these anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's
pointed
just-
brush.
It's a little cheapy one too, so. And I'm blending it out. So your liner, if you're not great at applying liner, that's fine, because you kind of want it a little smoky.
Oh.
So you can, you know, have it a little thick. It doesn't have to be a perfect line. And it's just gonna give you that smoky look. So now I'm gonna add the black liner. So you can see if you open, I'm gonna add the black liner right on the waterline. I'm using Inglot.
Inglot. Is this another Canadian thing? I can't right now.
No, you can. Okay. You can get it here. Again, I get all my makeup at Namie's or Nigel's.
Okay.
So it's just a cream. It stays on. I'm using a brush. I always take a little bit and put it on my hand.
To warm it up?
Yeah. And this is a lot easier to put on than a pencil. It looks super complicated with a brush, but trust me, just try it.
Really?
And you'll love it. And this stays on. Look down.
See, if I was doing it myself, there's no way I could not look at it.
No, when you have to do it yourself, you kind of have to like look up and hold your eyelid and just apply it.
And don't blink.
And look down this way.
Hey girl, hey.
See the difference? It's really subtle, but it just gives you more of that smoky look, and you don't see that.
It's just
skin
so
color.
it's so little. It's all in the details.
For under the eyes now is apply the Teddy. So
Okay.
just get to look up, And I'm applying it right along the lash root. So I'm not putting it right in the waterline, just along the lashes. And again, this can be messy because I'm gonna blend it out after. As you can see right now, it looks a little crazy. And look up, so I'm just blending it with this little bullet brush. This one I got in Canada. So
Sorry guys.
Yes.
Oh man, I knew it.
So for that final color, again, it's the Tom Ford, but it's like this color. It's like a nice bronzy. So even if you could find a color that matches that, if you don't want to, you know, invest in the Tom Ford palette.
Those palettes though are so great when you travel.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just going back over right in the crease with that Buxom bronzer.
Oh, you started with that and you're finishing with
Yes.
that.
So this is that final color that blends it. And I'm almost, as you can see, pretty much going up right to the brow bone. Just blends all the colors together. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, she always asks that. She's so caring.
L'Oreal Voluminous. I've tried so many mascaras, you know, to the most expensive, to the cheapy ones. This is one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites too, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried the expensive ones,
Yeah.
just something's missing.
When it comes to mascara,
You're not picky?
No. Obviously, like, I love this one because it doesn't end open and look down. It doesn't smudge, and this is waterproof. But,
Is this what we used on my wedding day?
yes, we did. This, I'm gonna start with is the Ardell, the
so
double.
thick.
These ones are double. These are the double flare, and they're in medium.
Where do you get those? Online?
Online, like pretty much any drugstore. I'm just using tweezers to apply. They can look a little crazy because you have to, you know,
Build it.
build it up and layer them with like different lengths. So
Are you sticking it to
Right-
my lash line?
yeah,
Or?
right to the lash line. So if you're doing it yourself, when I've tried doing this, you kind of have to like open and look down. It's just a little tricky.
It's tricky.
What I usually do is put the longest right in the middle, as you'll see once I add the long, because that's what gives you more of that round look for the eyes. It opens the eyes up.
So you don't put mascara over it, or you do?
I will after, because what happens is when you put the lashes on, sometimes you tend to look down when the foundation isn't set and you get a little foundation on them.
Wow, that's a great tip.
So now I'm using the double flare again, but in long
Okay.
by Ardell. And I'm just gonna add these and open and look down right in the middle. So like what I was saying earlier, you want that fluffier round eye.
Wow, what a difference.
So now I'm going in with mediums, but these are just the regular. I like using like the singles, like the individual ones where it's just like literally one strand of hair.
Right. I told Lindsay she should start a YouTube channel. Then we'll uncover all her secrets.
So now I'm just gonna use a makeup wipe to clean up under the eyes.
Okay, easy enough.
So the primer I'm using is by Cover FX. It's the mattifying. I pretty much use that for all my clients, even if they have a drier skin, because this is what really helps keep the makeup on. I use my fingers to apply it. You want to put it everywhere.
Now she mixes tons of things together for this part, so make sure you pay attention.
I really like to mix. So I'm using the NARS and the Guerlain. Now the NARS is a little bit more yellow based, and the Guerlain is a little bit more pinkier based.
It's in light number 2, number 4. Because a lot of the times you can't get that shade with one foundation. I've noticed like you have to mix a little bit. She's literally mixing it on, look, this little paint. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. So you're applying this with a flat brush.
Yeah, a little foundation brush. This is by Cover FX 120. And then I go in and blend with the Beauty Blender.
Oh.
So I'm not going quite under the eyes yet because I'm gonna conceal. So
okay.
it's fine. And you don't want to get foundation on the lashes. So I'm just taking, this is a MAC brush. The number wore off, but it looks like this.
Oh, it kind of looks like the same thing you use on my eyes.
A little, but it has like the synthetic bristles.
Right.
So I just kind of go right in there and blend on the inner corners and above the brows. So I'm using my Derma Color palette.
Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this.
This is my paint
This is
palette.
amazing.
And this is what I'm gonna use to color correct under her
Does
eyes.
it literally come with all those shades, or did you buy those shades individually?
No, it comes with it.
I was about to say.
When you're color correcting and you have like the dark circles, you want to use an orange kind of base and look up. And that will help conceal.
Get rid of the purpley.
And I'm using the same foundation brush, so it has a little bit of the foundation on the brush as well.
Okay, so you're not cleaning it, you're just going over it.
Going right over top.
This is what made my eyes like so awake and alive. And in photos, it really did look like highlighted.
So I'm just blending with the Beauty Blender and that little MAC brush. This is just, it's kind of like a primer for under the eyes. Now what I'm gonna use is, this is my favorite concealer.
Chanel.
This is Chanel, it's number 31.
31.
I use 31 for pretty much everyone.
Really?
If you don't want to spend that much on the Chanel, there's one by NARS and it's called Honey. And
It looks identical.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. The Chanel is still my favorite, but you know, it's a little bit cheaper than NARS.
It's an alternative.
So this is a concealer, but I'm going to use it as a highlighter.
Okay.
So I'll just get a look up and I'm just dabbing under the eyes. And this is pinkier base. So when you're concealing and highlighting under the eyes, I like a little bit more of a pinkier base because it's like that brightening effect.
Yeah.
Blending that out now. So now I'm using MAC NC20 Select Moisture
Okay.
Concealer. I'm putting this over top, and this is the one.
The yellowy one.
Yes, the yellowy one. And I'm just dabbing
Lightly.
lightly under the eyes to go right over top. And now I'm gonna highlight.
Now, does everybody do that? I always wonder, like, you know, because head shapes are different. Does everybody need to highlight their nose and their forehead? Like, what do you sort of recommend for highlighting?
I personally think so, because you want to brighten. It's
All
just
4 corners.
And look up. It's the contouring where, you know, not everyone has to contour, and you have to be careful with the nose because some people go crazy with the nose. The contouring and highlighting is just so in right now, but I feel like some people go overboard.
Oh my gosh, so what is this?
Prep and Prime by MAC.
By MAC, okay.
It's the yellow, I think that's light, it's called Light Boost. So I think that's the color, it's the yellowy one. So I just put it along here just to kind of brighten. Now this, you don't have to do this like on a day-to-day basis, but it's your wedding day.
So you're just putting that on the cheekbone.
Yeah, just to help brighten. It's very subtle, but this is really what brings everything together. It's just using all those steps, but you really, like, every day, you don't need to do this. So I'm gonna use the Armani Sun Drops in number 100. So
This is so dark.
this is what I use to contour. I'm using a Sephora brush, number 57.
It's so small.
And that's what you want. You don't want to use anything too big. So I'm gonna just kind of start
From the ear.
kind of, yeah, pretty much from the ear and blend it out. You want to have kind of that line. And then you take the Beauty Blender
Because it looks so scary right
and
now.
blend it out.
You know what I tend to do? I always set my foundation and then do the contouring, but I should probably do this. I think it's because I use a powder
Okay, now I use a powder as well.
over this.
So I go over top of that.
but it's kind of good to start with liquid. I think that's what makes it last.
For sure. And I'm just contouring under the jawline. So I'm just contouring the forehead a little bit. Sazan
I have a tiny forehead.
Yeah, she has a tiny little forehead, so she doesn't need it.
Okay, so you're doing the nose.
So I'm doing the nose just a little, and I'm really gonna blend it out.
I literally feel like my wedding day right now. It's like the look is coming back to life.
And now we're gonna set under the eyes. I'm using the same La Mer powder that I used to set the eyelid. Just keep looking up. So I'm just taking the La Mer powder and I'm just taking a fluffy brush. And now I'm gonna just lightly blend it everywhere, but just a little.
Oh.
So powder is key. A lot of clients ask, like, how do I get my makeup to stay on? Of course, primer, a good foundation, but setting is key with a powder. You know, again, with bridal makeup, they look a little powdery at first, but once your natural oils set in, it gives you that dewy, glowy look.
It gets better as the day goes on, believe it or not. It's bronzer time.
This is by Smashbox. It's in Suntan Matte. I'm using a MAC 168. It's a little angled brush. It's great to go over your contour. So this is gonna kind of help set as well.
Okay.
And I'm lightly going over top of your contour.
So that's setting the contour so you don't have to put the powder.
Yes.
Other powder.
And it's intensifying the contour as well. And now I'm using a Milani. This is a drugstore.
Ooh, drugstore.
Milani bronzer in number 5. I'm going right over top. I just love this color.
Shimmery.
And it's just such a nice bronzy color. I put a little bit on the cheeks. This is one of my favorite products.
I remember this.
This is Gleam in rose gold. You can also mix a little bit with your body lotion to give your
shimmery
lotion.
shoulders and all that.
So I'm using the same brush and I'm just going to apply it right along the cheeks. It gives you that perfect glow. I just love this stuff.
So you just apply it to the cheeks?
Yep, just to the cheeks. I'm blending it with this MAC brush, number 137.
Okay.
This is Charlotte Tilbury. So there's that one that I absolutely love. And I'm using that same brush. And smile for me. So with blush, I don't like using a lot of color. A little goes a long way. You really want to make sure it's blended. Now I'm using one of my favorite highlighters. This is by Mac Daddy. It's Artist Couture in Double Take. I absolutely love this.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's like not too shimmery, you know, because you don't want it to look glittery overly.
No. And this has like a little bit of a pink to it. And I'm applying it right on the highlight, just a little under, and see how that instantly just,
Ooh.
I'm like obsessed with this. Whenever I wear this, I personally get so many compliments. My clients love it.
It's amazing. So I would have never thought to put that after, you know, the powder and the blush and all that. So it's all in the steps.
And now over top of that, I'm using, it's by Becca Cosmetics, Champagne Pop.
Ooh, how appropriate for a wedding.
Same brush, so just right over top of the other highlighter.
Oh, it's like peachy.
It's like a peachier, goldy, shimmery color. And I always do a little bit along the nose, the chin.
But you don't go all the way up on the nose.
No, because you have to be careful. Now, if you have an oilier skin type, you want to be careful with this, and I wouldn't recommend putting it all along. It's that Anastasia brown shadow in Fawn, and I'll get a look up. I'm just gonna blend under the eyes one more time. So I'm gonna use the L'Oreal mascara under the eyes, the telescopic in black. The reason why I love this for the bottom is
it's so
the
thin.
brush. It is perfect for your bottom lashes. So I'll just get a look up and usually do a couple coats of the mascara on the bottom lashes. And look down. So I do a light dusting of mascara on the lashes. Just, you know, if a little bit of concealer or foundation got on them, it just covers that up. You don't want to do a lot or it can look a little crazy. This is by MAC. It's Vanilla. It's just their loose pigment.
Okay, that stuff is actually awesome. I have it in the tiny one.
On the inner corner of the eye. So I'll just get a look up. I'm just taking a small little bullet brush and blending it right in the inner corner. Whenever I do a smoky eye, and especially for brides, I like doing more of a neutral nude lip. I'm using, it's by MAC, and it's called Strip Down.
Strip Down. So that's like, isn't that like the perfect everyday nude lip liner?
This is what I use every day on myself. It's just like that perfect
nude. Oh, that's so good.
And you just want to line the entire lip with this color. So this is the only thing, this is what I recommend to all my brides, to go out and purchase the lip products, because this is the only thing you're gonna have to touch up on. Favorite of mine.
I have this.
Charlotte Tilbury. It's Nude Cape. It literally is the perfect.
It's the best nude lipstick out there. I really love that this specific nude lipstick, it lasted a long time. I think I touched up one time, like after the ceremony for the party, and it literally stayed on all night.
So now I'm just adding a lip gloss right over top. This is by Elizabeth Arden.
So pretty.
So that's number 6.
Oh, number 6.
So the final step is the MAC Prep and Prime setting spray. So I'll just get you to close your eyes. You just want to.
So you don't want to spray it too close?
No. You don't want to go too close, but what this does is help set the makeup.
Oh, it smells good.
And it's great for kind of working the foundation into your skin. So if you notice your foundation looks a little like heavy, this will help.
Looks like I'm gonna be going makeup shopping after this. Lots of new products I obviously need to get my hands on.
All right, and you are done. That's it.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let's get a close-up of this look.